Hey guys, welcome back to Worst Men Play. We got rid of Kyle, so you don't have to worry about that shit anymore.
We're just going to edit out anything he says and replace it with an angry dog barking.
Guys, can I please come back in?
Oh, did you hear that dog
replace
bark?
It with the sound of fireworks.
Dog's getting scared by fireworks.
Okay, that's a good compromise between what we said.
See? This is how unions are supposed to work. Okay, I think at this point I need to...
compromise.
Wait, who the fuck are those two guys?
Oh, that's the item screen. You have items that you can use.
Yeah,
Remember
but-
when I collected those items?
Yes, but that doesn't explain who the fuck those two guys were.
That was the Frankenstein that made me and his little sidekick.
Oh, did we learn that?
You would have if you were paying attention.
Oh.
That's the treasure.
Well, you skipped over the beginning, so
I sure the
we
fuck
wouldn't
did.
have.
Because you both would have been furious as crap with me if I'd sat through it.
No, we wouldn't have known
Yeah,
better.
probably.
We would have just assumed that, like, that's
Kyle,
how
literally,
the,
the
game goes.
word Sega had been on the screen for 2 milliseconds. You're like, get the game started, kid! Get the game started!
Get the fuck out, kid!
Wake up! Wake up and play DeCap Attack!
I didn't say anything. I just clapped at
Also,
you.
Hey, I skipped the
also
boss.
to follow suit, throwing fireworks down. Wake up! Just throwing a packet of lit firecrackers on his stomach.
Ah! Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you! All right.
Bonus game.
Ghost Leg. Ghost Leg is the generic name for this game. Isn't that neat?
How do you know it's called Ghost Leg?
Because it's a game from... It's a game.
But where does it say that?
It doesn't say it in the game. I mean, Ghost Leg is a game
I would just think
that
it's
you can
called...
play in general. It's just it's like rock, paper, scissors. It's a game.
Okay.
They have Ghost Leg
Oh.
in this. Like, you could have a rock, paper, scissors in this.
You're
you
still
know?
not explaining why the fuck...
What the...
Like, where is this a thing?
It's a...
Do you have to, like, sit on your feet until they fall asleep? Is that Ghost Leg?
I've done that before. No, well, it's like a... I think it's
Holy
an East...
shit.
It's an East Asian thing. Oh, yeah, this is a... This is basically Nick's subconscious the game. Yeah, you have to run.
This is just as sensible as every dream I've had in the last week.
Or fleeing from a giant totem pole that spits rocks at you.
Well, I straight up had a dream the other night that I think because I've seen too many fucking ads and stuff for it, but like it was a fight between Godzilla and King Kong that was like ravaging the town that I live in.
Oh, that would be an improvement or a lateral move.
So yeah, I mean, I would wish that on this town.
That'd be the worst.
But like I had to evacuate, but also I had to in the middle of that try to find a place to piss. So it was
priorities.
Pretty inconvenient.
Repressed
I also had a
homosexuality.
dream that my boss demanded that along the next set of like communications that I send out to our like client contacts, she was demanding that I send a picture of Dracula wearing a wristwatch. Which turned out to be almost like, it's not exactly prophetic, but it was symbolic because the very next day I was tasked with just some completely asinine horse shit that took up my entire afternoon.
Oh, I don't know where I was expecting that to go, but I'm a little let down.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that like, the next
Unsurprised,
day
but-
your boss was going to be like, so where's that fucking Dracula with the wristwatch picture?
The next day
Black
I came
Mirror.
in and my boss bit me on the throat.
That's a slightly less stupid idea for an episode than the Black Mirror you actually told us about.
Yeah.
The video game
Walk
that
in and
turns
your
people gay.
boss bites you on the neck and deems you a child of the night.
I don't know if the whole thing was that it makes you gay. It's just that it makes you want to fuck your friends.
Oh, well, I mean,
The game that loves to fuck.
you can't spell game without gay, can
I'm
you?
glad that we are now completely out of context with our audience. Let's
Was
keep
there
it that
ever
way.
any context?
There was, but the episode
kind
is lost,
of.
I think.
I don't know about context, but there was at least a chance for Kyle to admit to his sins, and now that's gone.
So
and
here's-
in the past,
it's just-
in the ether, probably in an episode that we gave up on and deleted because they were fucking terrible.
There's not that much to it. It's literally just there's an episode of Black Mirror where a video game turns you gay.
No, it's not even that. Like it's you've completely.
And
redefined
here we
episode.
are playing DeCap Attack. Pretty much a pretty weird coincidence, eh? Hey, boys.
Coincidence that
I've
we
heard
set up.
of I've heard people talk about not exactly representative, but like games and other like pop culture icons that are sort of taken over by like, like the gay community or any other, I guess you would say atypical community of that nature. And it's always like interesting to me what gets picked up, like what gets latched onto.
For example,
So-
DeCap
so-
Attack is huge in the Castro district.
I don't know if DeCap Attack was somehow like a fucking like a gay icon, that would be beyond delightful to me right now.
Well, that would also be like a much more prominent fate than the actual character. You know, and at least he'd be known for
to
something.
dissolve into ignominy.
Yeah. Well, total irrelevance is what I was going to say, but yeah. I mean, he didn't really go into ignominy now, did he? He kind of was born there. Birth of ignominy.
From ignominy to, fuck me, I already forgot what you said. To obscurity.
Yeah,
From ignominy to obscurity.
At the Trouble Planet story. Well, yeah. Did you know, though, and I don't know, yeah, this is something I found out while researching Sonic the Comic, but in Britain, they briefly supplanted the Sonic comic with a DeCap Attack comic that ran for a few years. Yeah. Apparently it was a bit more marketable. What the fuck? It was a bit more marketable in Britain than it was anywhere else.
I mean, it does seem like it's something that I would fucking have absolutely loved as a child. Like,
Yeah,
just
I
looking
mean-
at it, like the way the character is just fucking grotesque in a way, and like he throws his head
Yeah.
around. Like I could totally see myself watching like a Saturday morning cartoon about this.
That's true. There was a whole period, mostly through the 90s, where they were obsessed with trying to market just really gross shit to kids.
Yeah, the Nickelodeon era, Goosebumps
Yeah, it's
and all
like,
that shit.
all the kids who watched Ren and Stimpy and saw like entirely too detailed drawings of like Stimpy's nose warts
Yeah.
and pores
Exactly,
and
yeah.
shit.
You kids like feces, don't ya? Actually, yeah, there's a lot of cartoons that like prominently featured ass cheeks and stuff, and
Yeah.
and I learned
True.
later on that there's actually someone at Nickelodeon who turned out to be kind of a kiddie fiddler,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
apparently in a lot of
John K.
no, in addition to him, a live action guy who worked
Oh,
on
on top of that, there was more than one. Good.
Oh, I'm sure there's scores of them. But
Yeah.
no, apparently there was a guy who was a creepo. Well, okay, this is gonna get a lot redundant, really, but there was a guy who had a thing for feet as well as the youngins, and so there's a whole bunch of Nickelodeon skits and shows that prominently feature kids' feet.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to interrupt real quick to say this is the shittiest looking power up.
Okay.
It's the Sega power-ups. It's just like Sonic shit, They just do like a white,
At least
a blue
the Sonic shit
bubble.
was animated.
Oh,
They-
whoa! This is the
Whoa.
shittiest power-up.
Kyle.
This is supposed to help
No,
you.
this is awesome. This is great and efficacious in comparison.
Yeah, man.
But anyway, you were talking about a known pervert.
Yeah, basically Nolan of the internet. Ray Smuggles, not of the internet. that's a little liquid for you, Kyle.
Oh yeah, I was worried. We haven't spoken about Iquid in a while.
Almost.
Do you remember what show he was on? Or?
Amanda, all that.
Yeah, basically any live action show from like the mid 90s to the mid aughts when I guess he got briefly fired, or like his friend did or something, because they had some kind of summer camp for actors that got sexually inappropriate naturally.
Oh, no.
But
Is that why Kel stopped doing anything?
aw, yeah, maybe he got out while the getting was good. Kenan Thompson still does stuff though.
He does Saturday Night Live.
He do.
Yeah.
Killing a Battletoad. A Skyrim Battletoad.
This is not a boss that does anything.
He'll do something eventually.
Oh, okay.
He pulls what I call the Nick maneuver. Rotates his head around 900 degrees and spits fire.
and vomits fire in every direction.
Nick, how does it feel to be now like the icon of Keith's like strange fixation recently? Like he seems to. Always...
Yeah.
I just have a lot of common ground with Nick and DeCap Attack, fellas.
Well, it's unfortunate that whole story, because when I think back, like, yeah, there were a lot of shows where they just showed like large feet, but it was supposed to be, gross out
Wacky humor, yeah.
imagery. It was supposed to be like, big stinky feet.
Yeah.
But
well, I guess it makes sense.
Nobody tried to fuck them.
Well, perverts are going to be fluent in things that kids innocently find appealing, right? It makes sense.
Well,
Yeah.
Anyway, like and subscribe if you think this is good content.
if you want to hear more about perverts and feet, click the next episode of Worst Men Play.